What's going on, guys? MDLP from the Battle Axe, the Strongman Gym in Miami, where strength is everything. Making a video. Hope I don't have a booger on my nose. This is just a complete random video. I was asked a question by one of my Instagram people. I guess I'll leave his name out of it, but he was asking about trying to start strongman and getting into it. Now, his plight, I guess, is in his town by Atlanta, Georgia. There is really no strongman gyms out there near him. Obviously, I think that he eventually could find one, and I'm sure even just that starting strongman mat page is really, really useful, to believe it or not. So that's something to look into. But for right now, he says he can't make the traveling. He's got to start things on his own in his garage. He's like 6 feet, 175, and first of all, you're a jerk for being taller than me, because I think anybody taller than me is a jerk. And he asked me general questions of things that I would suggest to give to anybody as they're going to start starting their journey in strongman and stuff. He's also 27, so he's not like a lot of you young motherfuckers out there who are 19 years old and deadlifting 16,000 pounds. So I would say this. I would say, number one, stick to the basics. And I know that some of these things are going to be cliche. Some of them are tangible, and some of them are just more philosophical, and I guess an idea of what to have for yourself. Start with the basics. Any strongman is going to do the powerlifting movement. So bench, squat, deadlift, obviously overhead press, those kind of movements, very basic. You can do that in any gym, any garage gym. You don't have to get too fancy. If you're starting there, go ahead and start with that. Get your strength up. Which leads me to the second point, is get on a program. Some guys are going to tell you that they go by feel, and I think that's okay at a level of experience. I think when you're at a certain level of experience, I think it's very important to understand where you're at, so you actually make a decision that's, I think, mature, and saying, oh, I'm just going to feel it out today. Fine, if that's something that's the way you train, but that's after years and years of experience of actually having the knowledge to pick out of a fucking arsenal of ideas in your head. So until then, I'd say get on a program. Any program. There's tons of them out there, man. 531, get on a West Side kind of concept, the Cube. These kind of methods here can build a basic strength program for you. Reach out to people that know, obviously, programming or anything. Just get on something. If you do it on your own, that's fine. Give yourself a plan so you're motivated when you step into the gym, and not just kind of eating shit. So that's very important, that you go in there with an idea, with a goal, with a game plan. Write your stuff down, all that good stuff. Number three, start reaching out. You told me that he pretty much is eating up any kind of article, YouTube, video, everything on strongman. I think that's super important. Just the way the strongman community has blown up in the last few years with YouTube and starting strongman and pretty much just fucking social media, Instagram, that you can really reach out and find. Juggernaut's a big player now that they took on some strongman stuff. There's just so much information out there, but there's also a difference between reading stuff and watching YouTube and actually reaching out. So I really appreciate you reaching out to me. I think that I suggest to do it to other people that you look up to or are interested in their training. Tons of these guys in the strongman community cannot wait to fucking talk training, but they're actually, it's pretty motivational to have somebody reach out to say, hey, I need help, how can I help? And a lot of people will do it relatively for free until you start asking for programming, and then that's business and whatever. But reach out, get in contact with other people who are probably in the same situation you're in, or have been there. Like all of us have started from scratch, or different kind of small kind of gym kind of stuff. So I think that's number 4. I'm not really good at counting because I'm too handsome for that stuff. But so let's say number 5. Number 5, fucking eat, man. If you're 6 feet and 175, bud, there's nothing wrong with that. Bless your heart. And I think you and me both know that we're gonna have to put on a little bit of poundage. You don't have to get fat, dude. If you're a great 200 pounder or 185, 195, go ahead and start eating to perform. That's it. I'm not saying to go out there and have the typical, oh, I'm a strongman now, I'm gonna eat pizza and like forever bulk life. But let's start eating and acting the lifestyle. So really get into lifting, get into eating correctly, get in the protein, get in that situation, because a lot of your daily habits are going to dictate the motivation you have to go into the gym. Did you hear that shit? Write that shit down, because that's fucking Odin given science. Your daily activities will dictate the motivation you have into getting the gym. I promise you, today I didn't eat so well. I didn't have time. I didn't have enough meals prepped. Piece of shit. You know, it's my fault. And that took a little motivation out of my grind into the gym. You know, besides all things considered, injuries and bad days or whatever, when you don't have that food in your belly, when you kind of didn't sleep enough or whatever, that hits your motivation going to the gym. It fucks with you. And lastly, be yourself, man. Honestly, be yourself. Understand why it is you're doing what you're doing. Understand why it is that you're starting to do strongman, and why you want to do it. It's not a sport that everybody lasts. I'll tell you what, everyone can start strongman. I believe it. But it's the motherfuckers out there who have been there day in and day out for a year or 2 or 3, through their injuries, through their competitions, through the grind, up and down weight scales and weight classes, all that kind of stuff, implements, no gyms, traveling, all that journey. That is what this sport is really about, the adventure of it. And I know I don't want to get too freaking artsy-fartsy and philosophical, but I think a lot of people will agree that there's a lot more to it than just picking up weird shit, because none of us really get paid for it, man. So there has to be something or a reason why you're doing this sport and why you're willing to sacrifice your health and your livelihood for something that might not pay off in the sense of monetary value, but has a whole lot of value in the stuff that's, you know, immaterial and stuff like that. So know it, understand why you're doing what you're doing, find out the character that you are, the reason that you lift, the energy that you have when you lift, guide that and embrace that shit, and I guarantee you that you're going to be a lot more motivated doing the sport that you love to do, because you know who the fuck you are. You're not some poser out there trying to be like somebody else. And just, I'm not saying that with vindictive nature, although I know a lot of fucking posers out in the world, but I'm just saying, be yourself, and it's going to help you a lot more in the long run, okay? So I hope that kind of stuff helps. I'm going to do my best to get this video out tonight. Thanks for the questions. I always support questions. I think that's super flattering, and keep them coming, man. I wish you the best of luck. Cheers.